Hello and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already part of the Sprinkle Squad. I'm so happy to see you again, and today we are working on a tiny farm, which I'm actually super excited about because I feel like building farms in The Sims can be very overwhelming because there are so many aspects that can go into it. I mean, at this point we have all kinds of animals, especially if you start including like the goats, the sheep, the horses, like the chickens, the cows. I mean, it's just so much, especially, or like the birds, the rabbits, taking care of all these animals is a whole lot. But I just thought like a tiny little farm would be actually so adorable. And this actually came from an idea. One of my creator friends, AthenasGamerVillage, actually has a cast build like challenge right now going on where you're supposed to make like a futuristic sim. And anyways, long story short, I had made a sim for that challenge, and I'll put the information down below in the description in case you want to submit. And I believe her plan is to stream over on Twitch like all of the entries and just something fun for her village to do. So I don't know, I just thought I don't do a lot of casts, but I just thought I would just for funsies one day just decided to do it. And I was actually telling my mom about it the other day when she was staying with us for like a week, and she decided she also wanted to create a sim. So this is actually made for her sim, and I won't like talk too much about the sim just because in case Athena is actually listening right now, I don't want to spoil anything. But this was made for her sim, and I just thought it was so cute, the idea, because we actually decided to play with the sim my mom made, and I wanted to basically start with like no money and like build up from there. And I don't know, I just thought a tiny little farm would be really adorable. So we're just kind of figuring out exactly what I want this layout to be. Now I think technically, I can't remember if this does actually fall into the tiny home category just because of that overhang outside, but inside it is very small. It is very tiny inside. This does have room for 2 Sims though, and this is already up on the Sims 4 gallery if you would like to download it under my ID, spicensprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. But I think it turned out really well. I have also done a big farm, like I think back before we got horses, but it's like, I think it may actually be on that giant lot in Henford on Bagley, which this is also in Henford on Bagley. This is, I forgot which lot it is actually, and right now it's too tiny for me to see what it says in that top corner, but it will be down in the description. And if you are new to the channel, which by the way, I feel like we've got a lot of new subs and a lot of new members in our Sprinkle Squad, so welcome, by the way. It's like so exciting having all of these people sub, and also I have had the most lovely comments recently, so thank you so much. Honestly, if you watch my videos, like them, subscribe, comment it, I appreciate all of it. But truly, it has been so lovely starting to create content again, and y'all have just been honestly just so wonderful. Like I always feel like we have the best community on YouTube. I'm just gonna say it. I just feel like that's the case. And I'm sure there are other people that will disagree with me, but personally, I feel like our community is honestly so amazing. And anyway, so just putting all of this together, this ends up being so cute. And oh yeah, so I was talking about the large farm I did, and this was a while back, and I think it's like I said, on that 64 by 64, and it's like a big red like farm. It's also, I think there's room for like several kids, all kinds of stuff. It's a pretty sizable home, but it literally, like, it's so beautiful, like the red, I love it. And so when I was building this, I was like, I'm not going to use red. I like always want to use red, right? That's that like classic barn farm kind of color. And I was like, I'm going to do something different. So I ended up using this really nice light blue color, which I think turned out so nicely. I think it's maybe the one from Horse Ranch. I'm trying to remember because I think I went through a few of them, because we do now have like a lot of different types of like wooden siding. So this may be the one from Horse Ranch. I just can't remember. But then adding here, I do like go back and forth like how exactly like I want the colors to make sense. I think this ends up being so cute and cozy, and I will say this has been play tested as well, so you shouldn't have like any issues playing. I was a little concerned about like if the door was too close to that like island I've got there in the kitchen, but it's not. It totally works. And we even have like a little dining room, and well, I say it's not a dining room, it is a dining table, please, it's in the corner. Like it's definitely not a room, but I have this like fireplace here. I feel like the faux fireplace, it's a lot smaller. Like it's just not as giant as some of the other ones. Like I wanted an actual fireplace, but I just felt like it took up so much room in this space that it wasn't worth it. So instead I used this, and I actually put in like a bunch of candles and plants and everything. So I fill up that area, and I think it ends up looking really cute. But I did opt to just not use a real one. Of course, if you download it and want to swap it out, that's totally up to you. It just felt a little cramped. And then I do end up using the smaller wall mounted TV as well, just because I feel like, you know, I feel like it could be nice not to have it like in this like cutesy little like, you know, farm. Maybe they don't have a TV or something, but it just is one of those items that I feel like is so useful for your Sims. I feel like they're fun. Like it goes up so fast when they watch TV. So sometimes I'll have my Sims like multitask and eat while they watch TV, and I feel like that helps a lot. And then I did layer that like wooden panel there behind the fireplace because it just looked so cute there and added a little something. And don't mind all of the lanterns that are on the mantle right now. I do that because basically I wanted to take up all of the slots on the top of the mantle so that as I was placing things on the bottom, it didn't want to clip up there, if that makes sense. So that's also a nice tip. So if you're starting to build and you notice that like you want to raise things up and put things places, but they start clipping to like different surfaces, if you put an item there, then stuff doesn't want to clip to that surface. So that makes it a little bit easier, just putting in all of those lovely flowers and candles and everything, and just really putting in a lot of clutter here. I thought it ended up looking so adorable in here. And I feel like this week I've been building a lot. Like I've been very inspired to build. So this was one of them. And then I just had the whimsical build that went up too a few days ago, which I'm so in love with how that turned out. And we do also have I made another tiny home. It's like a grade teacher home, and I think that turned out really cute too. So hopefully that will be up on the channel soon. And if you are keeping up, if you did watch my last video, I still have not updated my game. Some of my building mods are still broken, so I'm just trying to hold out for as long as possible before updating my game. I'm hoping my mods get updated before I need to update my game, because as of right now, since I'm currently using the game offline, I can't actually upload anything to the gallery, but this is up on the gallery. I got that on there before I went offline, but my teacher build right now is not. So I really would like to get that up before I actually post the video. But that was like, I know I'm talking about another build, so apologies, but I feel like I might forget when I actually talk about that build, which is probably going to be the next one if I had to guess. And this build does come out to be 45,000 simoleons, so by no means is this a like starter build or anything like that, but I feel like a lot of times I don't do like budget builds just because I like using all of the items, and I feel like I need to do that again. Like I guess I did a starter apartment not very long ago, but maybe I need to try to do a starter home, especially like we've got so many new items in the game, and I know that we just had the 3 kits come out, which by the way I've not downloaded yet since again my game, I'm not online. But let me know down in the comments, do you like the new kits? Did you get them? Are you excited about them? I'm very curious. I haven't really looked at a lot of news about it just because I kind of just want to get it and look at it for myself. So I've kind of tried not to get spoilers, which is definitely difficult because they are actually out now and like everybody is using them. But I think from what I have seen, they do look really cute. So let me know what you think, just out of curiosity, because I know too, kits are supposed to be like very, well, not very, but like more specific to what everyone might want in their games. The idea is that maybe you don't actually buy all of the kits. But I think I've talked about that before. It is hard for me not to. As many items as I can have, I want them in the game. And I do end up putting these 2 chairs in here with a tiny little like end table between them, and it does look cramped, but like I said, it has been play tested, so your sim shouldn't have any issues getting around, using the chairs, that kind of thing. I feel like this build, and I think it is that teacher home I was just talking about, I definitely had to play test both of those because I was honestly wondering if like your sim could actually get around because items were kind of placed in a weird way. But I think it turned out really cute, and having like the mix of colors and textures I think ended up looking really eclectic here in a really cute kind of way. And then just again, I tried to trying to decide what tile that I wanted to use in the kitchen was so difficult. Like, I went through so many different variations to figure out which one I liked. I think I paused my recording so you didn't have to see me go through a million of them, because the second I started, I knew it was going to take me a while, and you didn't have to see me go through like 50 different tile options, some of which I did multiple times trying to decide. I feel like the same thing happened when I was trying to figure out what sink to use in here. I don't know why I was having a hard time with that, but I think it came together really nicely, and I ended up using that really adorable cottage living picture it's like the farm animals playing poker, I think, kind of like that. I don't know the name of that famous like painting that's like the dog sitting around playing poker or something, but I thought that looked really cute because it also comes in this really nice light green swatch like for the frame, which I thought worked really well in this bathroom. And then I will say that the bedroom does look a little bit cramped, but again, like when we get to it, you'll see what I mean. It ends up like, it looks like the bed fills up like the whole entire space, but I promise your sim can get in and out of the bed, and you can have two sims. And I thought about just like shoving the bed in a corner, and then like your sims can like scoot into the bed and stuff, which I mean, is a thing that works, but I just feel like it's still not super great, because if you have a sim that wants to get up before the other one, like it just like causes issues. But I ended up using this cottage living bed, which is so cute. I feel like I don't use it super often, but that swatch is just so, so pretty. And then I end up kind of putting together a horse ranch like cabinet with a cottage living like dresser vanity thing, and trying to find swatches that I felt like looked good together was definitely difficult. I wish we had swatches that matched a little bit better in the game. Like, I feel like a lot of times we have colors that don't match, like wood tones that don't match, like, so it can be a little bit difficult trying to like match things. But I guess realistically, having stuff that's a little bit different makes sense as well. And then trying to find a nightstand that works with this bed, because you can see there's not a ton of room, was nearly impossible. So I actually ended up using these little shelves that came with I believe it was Crystal Creations, I believe. And I just thought it'd be really cute, just like little shelves that your sims can like put their things on, which again, I know sims don't actually do that, but I like to think about it that way. I feel like a lot of my builds, I start thinking about like, oh, if it really was a home, like how would a person use it, even though sims definitely don't use it that way. And then just adding some throw pillows on there. I feel like I've been using those a lot recently. I feel like when we got the first one, in the modern, I think it's Modern Luxe kit, I used it a lot, and then I stopped using it. I don't know if I forgot about it. And then we also got one in, I think it was one of the like event rewards for one of the events that we had recently. And I don't know, I've just like gotten back into using them because I just think they end up looking really cute here. And then I will say that your sim can cook in there. The cutting boards that are on the wall, they're actually wall items, so they don't interfere with the counter, so your sim will be able to cook there. Of course, I put a bunch of clutter on the other counter because I just couldn't help myself. And I will say, I don't know what I was thinking when I was actually building this. I ended up putting that like wash bucket over in the corner because it just looks so cute, and I was like, oh, well, I don't have a hamper, it's fine, like, because if I don't know why I thought for whatever reason the hamper was what made laundry day like function. Yeah, I was totally wrong. I don't know why I was thinking that, because when I had a sim play test it, yeah, sure enough, when they changed clothes, like the clothes were then just on the floor, and I was like, well, that's definitely not what I want. However, if you do actually want to play with, laundry day, then of course you can add that stuff in. But I decided to actually, in the final version of the build, I do take that out, and I think I replaced it. I forgot what I replaced it with, but with something so the space isn't empty, but it just looked so cute that I wanted to use it just as an item. You know what I mean? I feel like there would probably be a mod out there somewhere that makes those just items and not like usable items, if that makes sense. Like, I wonder, that would be really cool too, like if you could turn off the actual laundry day ability, if that makes sense, so you could like use the items as like more decoration than function. Because I don't know, it doesn't matter like how careful I am. Every time I use laundry, it always catches fire. Like, I empty the lint, I do all of the things, and I don't know, I always like have a sim set it on fire. Even if it's like I hired a maid or something to come over, like they'll set it on fire. Like, and then my sims are scared of fire, and then they have a fear, and then it's just a whole thing. So a lot of times I end up not using laundry unless I want like an extra little challenge in my game. But let me know if you actually use the laundry pack, because I don't know, I love the idea of having the items, but I don't love actually using the items, if that makes sense. And then of course layering a bunch of stuff here, and I think I talked about this in my last build, but there are these really pretty just like landscaping accents like grass. You can see those like flowers, the mushrooms and everything that comes out of Cottage Living Debug Live Edit menu, and it's really nice. Like it covers the whole area, and it kind of gives that like wildflower kind of look, like you just like sporadic stuff around. So I do end up like, I just kind of dumped them all there, so I had them, and then I end up using them in the like gardening area. So I end up putting in a chicken coop. I end up putting the little barn there so you can have a llama or like a cow. And then I also have like a small gardening area as well. I also feel like, you know, when you make like these big lots, it can be very overwhelming to actually have a sim keep up with all of this stuff, because it takes a long time, I guess, as does a real farm. Like all of that, you are like, I feel like working all of the time, taking care of your animals and things like that. And then I did find these beautiful grapevines. I believe they're from Lovestruck, and again, that is like the live edit debug. And I just thought they were so cute that I had to use them. Now I feel like I need to like build a vineyard or something. Although it's just, well, I guess you could make it like a cafe or something, or maybe a bar lot and make it a vineyard. Like that might be cute. I feel like I have all these ideas that I want to build, like, but I don't have the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have a long list of stuff that I actually want to build, but I've got several things in the work that I actually need to finish. Like I feel like I've started so many things. I need to complete some of those first. And then I added that giant pumpkin. I just thought that was so cute to have there. Like they just harvested the pumpkin or something like that. And then we do have the flower arranging table here too. So if your sim decides, like, that's what I say that if your sim decides, but I guess it's you deciding if that's what your sim's going to do in the game. And I think, what is it? Like recently they came with like the, like, is it a fear or whatever? Like your sim's like, I feel like somebody's controlling my life. And I'm like, I don't, like, yes, that is true. But then it makes me feel weird that I'm making all these decisions for my sims. They're like, I'm telling them what to do, and I just think it's kind of funny when I get that notification for my sims. But then adding a bunch of lights around, because again, I figure your sim might be out there a lot, so I want to make sure it's nice and well lit. And then just adding some, like, I think I put a tree in the middle there. I tried to leave this nice and open so the animals can actually like have space to roam around and things like that. And I figured you can lock the front door so then other sims like can't necessarily go in other parts. I feel like I have issues with that too. Like sims just wander in and kind of do whatever they want to, even though they don't actually live here, but maybe that's just me. So adding this last bit of terrain paint here. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye everybody.